Hey guys, so I wanted to give a different perspective of how to view what Trina said when she called the people of Miami animals for destroying her friend's store during the protest. And well, what happened is this: her friend, it appears, her friend was in quarantine, and I guess her store had been closed for a while, so she was not making a lot of money. And then when she returned from quarantine, she finds that her store had been destroyed by all of these people, and her friend has a child to take care of and she has bills to pay. And it sounded as if her friend may be a single mother who's, trying to make ends meet. And Trina was very upset that her friend's store was destroyed. In other words, she was making reference to all of the collateral damage that resulted from all of this. And she said a lot of things. I have linked her the audio of what she said down in the description. I also linked an audio of her apology. If I find the apology, I haven't found it yet, but if I find an audio of the apology, I will link it down below as well. And anyway, so what she said basically was that a lot of people's livelihood are being destroyed, and a lot of people's, quite frankly, lives have been destroyed as well by people, members of the black community. And the protesters are not commenting about that they're focused on causing mayhem and destroying the city. And Trick Daddy tried to get her to see things in a different way and to see the importance of all that has been going on and why it is necessary for the protesters to act the way that they acted. But Trina was not hearing it. She was very emotional and she was very upset when she was speaking. And she went on Twitter, and a lot of people criticized her, and she tried to explain what she meant, and people would not hear of it. And the backlash got so bad that she had to come back and apologize. Anyway, that is the summary of what happened. Now, let me explain another way that we can understand what she meant without simply dismissing what she was trying to communicate. While I do not agree with what she said and her timing, I do think that there's something to be learned from what she said, and I'm just gonna touch on that right now. I want to start by saying that it is important for everyone to be focused on the issue at hand, which is, regarding these police officers and police officers across the country and how they carry out their jobs. So it is very important for everyone to be focused. Her words, Trina's words, distracts from that topic because she's introducing a different aspect of the same kind of situation. Okay, it's not completely different. There is some similarities. However, it distracts from what we all should be focused on, and her timing was wrong because of that. Also, her delivery was very, very wrong. Her delivery was very aggressive, and it seems that that is the way that she communicates. She tends to be very animated and very vocal when she feels strongly about things, and that also affected the message that she was trying to send. And that also was wrong on her part. If she had been, a bit less harsh in her delivery, because let's be honest, there are real people involved in this situation. This man's family is still mourning, so we can't just dismiss what happened, and we can't just dismiss all of this demonstrating and the peaceful demonstrating that is going on. And just because some stores were destroyed, at the end of the day, stores can be rebuilt, items can be purchased. but you can not bring a life back. So her words really distracted from the topic at hand. However, to directly address what she was saying and to explain it in a different term, I don't know if specifically this is what she meant because I don't know her. I don't know what's in her mind. I only know what's coming out of her mouth. However, I'm just bringing a different alternative way of interpreting what she said. If society as a whole ignores violence or condones violence in one aspect but dismisses it or criticizes it in a different aspect, that society cannot be peaceful. Okay? In order for peace to reign, there has to be peace all around. If people ignore or if people condone violence by, say, people that are in a particular group or gang, and against a subsect of society such as women or children, but they criticize the same acts of violence when it's perpetrated by law enforcement, then in a way, whatever message you're trying to send to stop violence in one aspect but not in the other is just not going to work. It's not going to work. If we're going to stand against violence, we have to stand against violence in all aspects of society, and whether it comes from men, women, regular citizens, or law enforcement. We cannot just try to fix the violence in one aspect of society but not pay attention to that in another aspect of society. And I believe Trina, touched on that when she said that her brother was hurt and his life was taken away by a black man. And, so she did touch on that. And I kind of see where she's going with this because I feel as though we all have to work on ourselves. Like each group in society have to work on themselves and not condone violence coming from themselves as well as other groups. We cannot just sweep certain things under the rug when when it's been perpetrated by people that are considered victims in other aspects, just because they're victims in other aspects. So the same passion that people have in trying to fix this problem with law enforcement should be the same passion that they should have when a member of the Black society commits an act of violence against their own members. And that makes sense to me. It's like it's just the only way forward. There's no other way. The second thing that I wanted to touch on is the aspect of collateral damage. So, a lot of the problems and the situation that the community is in has to do with economic wealth and economic status. It is clear that the society listens to the person with the deepest pockets. So if a group of people do not have access to economic resources, i.e., money and other resources, they will be at the bottom for a very long time and they will continue to beg to be heard. So, to climb out of that hole, they have to build their own economic wealth. And that will also end or put the Black community in a better position to not be victimized constantly by law enforcement. Now, it is kind of difficult to build economic wealth if, whenever we get passionate about this kind of a topic, we go and begin to destroy other Black businesses that are trying to dig the community out of the hole. In other words, we are keeping ourselves in that economic hole over and over whenever we destroy our own businesses. And that is something she also tried to communicate, or I guess that is another way to look at this. Let's not destroy the same weapon that is going to allow us to climb out of this hole. And that's pretty straightforward to me. I feel as though if things must be destroyed, then let's be mindful and let's be more aware of the true damage or the long lasting damage that's being caused by all of this destruction. And if we're demonstrating and we're in a predominantly black neighborhood where blacks own businesses, then whatever you destroy is probably owned by a black person, and you are keeping them in a hole that's going to keep the entire black society in a whole and keep them in the same position where they are going to be victimized. So if you don't want to be victimized continuously, generation after generation, you have to build economic wealth, which means you cannot build something and then destroy it when you get upset about something. Okay? That's basically all I have to say on that topic. So yeah, what she said is, if you look at it this way, it does make a lot of sense. I just think that she should have worded it better. The use of the word animals, obviously, that's not going to be taken lightly by anyone. So, if we have a good message or a message that we believe is helpful or beneficial to anyone, we have to be careful in how we deliver it, because if we deliver it incorrectly, the message will not be accepted, even if it's for the benefit of the people you're saying it to. Okay, this happens with Azealia Banks many times. Sometimes she does have some, she makes sense sometimes. It's just the way she delivers it turns people off. So that's all I have to say in this matter. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.